Hi, Faisal.
Hi, Shelley.
I love when we're able to have conversations that reflect on the doom and gloom of our society and the fact that it seems like we're sort of facing Armageddon at some level, and yet you can find ways to feel more hopeful and appreciative about the world. And I think particularly interesting is how you associate different nations with a specific level of essence. I'd love for you to be able to talk about that.
Thanks. Yes, I'll make it first a little bit gloomier than it is, darker than it is. I believe we are in the middle of the apocalyptic time. This is what is being mentioned in the holy books and predictions, and we are in the midst of it. I mean, we reached a level of unbelievable lack of our humanness. We've forgotten we are humans. We've become now trapped in fear and in anger and in power, especially power, dominance, greed, something very, very beastly kind of nature that is so far away from our humanness. We're in the verge of, I don't know, if not nuclear war, which is possible, nuclear accidents might happen, and a great deal of damage might happen to Europe and the world and nature. And it makes you wonder, why is this nightmare building up again? And I don't believe in what the politicians say. To me, it's all hypocrisy and lies and deception, and people falling for it. And people little by little forgetting, what those nations are. We don't think Russians are humans or Americans are humans to them, or the Chinese are humans and Europeans are human. We think of just, I don't know, labels and political views, and willing to destroy them, and willing to take their resources, and they take our resources. To me, this is insanity. Something is hitting humanity. Later on, maybe I tell the story about when the waters were changed. But maybe I tell it now, then I go into the.
Yes.
It says, long time ago, the guide of humanity, the Sufi call him Khidr, the green one, or we call him the diamond guidance, or Avlakat Ishbara, or there is a guide in the hidden realm, in the spiritual realm, that comes as revelation and guide humanity through difficult passages, or bring us revelations, the Bible, the Torah, the Quran, all the lineages. And one day this Khidr, this high being, came to a king and said to him, it's gonna rain 40 days and 40 nights. And when it rains, the water will be changed. And whoever drinks from this water will go insane. So tell your nation, tell them to preserve water from now, so when it rains, they don't drink from the new water, they drink from the old water. So the king told the nation, please save water, create containers and save water for 40 days, and 40 days it's gonna rain, and whoever drinks from it's gonna go crazy. The usual, nobody listened. He built a reservoir for himself, gathered the water, and then it rained, and people drank the water, and they went insane. They got crazy. And he kept drinking from the water, his water alone. And little by little, people started spreading the rumors that something bad happened to their king. He seems to be not normal. And little by little, rumors spread that, no, their king has become crazy. And of course, everybody agreed, because they are all crazy, looking at the one who is not and think, yeah, he's crazy. So they decided that he's crazy, and he got so lonely, so sad, so hopeless, doesn't know what to do. Then he drank the water. the new water. And he became one of them. There was a huge celebration. God has saved their king. We drank the water. Humanity has drank the water, illusions, delusions, falsehood, deceptions, lies, all based around survival. We become so selfish that our interest is the best. Nobody says the interest of all of humanity and all the animals and all the insects and the trees and the earth. We have a magical planet, and we are magical beings. And our ancestors, even though they went through all kinds of disasters and wars, World War I, World War II, before, the history of humanity is full of tyrants who led humanity into destructions. Yet, in the heart of humanity, in the soul of humanity, we formulated different tribes, different nations. And nations, when you look at them from perspective with the lens of diamond perception, it's interesting to see that each nation has a different culture, a different flavor, different energy. And if you are a seer, you might sense that this culture has so much compassion in it. Green, like if you go to Egypt, because of the suffering and the poverty and all of this, they had to cultivate compassion for each other, for themselves or for each other. Otherwise, they will die out of grief, out of suffering, So there is a lot of green essence. In India, the same, a lot of humanness, a lot of compassion. And America has been a rugged country, very challenging. The ancient ones had to develop this land and tame the land. And yes, some of them committed atrocities against the native Indians, but many cultivated essence of perseverance, of solidity, of independence,
and we call it grit.
Yeah, grit, So this some of it is real. Some of it really a quality of essence that gives the sense of solidity, individuality, perseverance, reliability, the land of the brave, the land of the, it's beautiful if you have this quality and walk the walk, and you attain true autonomy, not defensive autonomy, but true autonomy. What is this quality? This quality is white essence. White essence, if you have white essence, then you feel grounded and you feel walking the walk. There is a little cartoon movie I used to watch it with my son about the little train that said, I know I can, I think I can, I think I can. Yes. Going up the hill, little train. It has this kind of perseverance and continuity, similar to Germany. Germany has similar quality with the quality of white essence, perseverance, but it has a different flavor, which has to do with being super brilliant. I'm brilliant. Everything I do is the most intelligent and super. So they have brilliancy, which is one aspect of white essence. Americans have silver and platinum perseverance, and both America and Germany share a quality of white essence we call citadel. A quality of perseverance, of a steadfastness, no matter what, I got like a camel. I got to cross the desert, and I know how to cross the desert, which is beautiful, And this quality now is being, of course, exploited. We are using the American, not we, I mean, the establishment and those, using the American spirit of goodness, of perseverance, to work them like factories, like slaves, working so hard, getting paid so less, exploited to the maximum. This virtue, this beautiful virtue that can, if we really have good leadership, America will lead the world, because the Americans have the goodness in heart, have the right orientation, but there is no leadership to take them. The same thing in other nations. You look, for example, Italy. Italy, when you go there, you get filled with sweetness. And Mamma Mia, the whole culture is Mama. And the atmosphere, you can aspire to is a nice pizza or a pasta with a glass of wine, and sweetness sitting by, in the cafe, by somewhere looking. It has a lot of sweetness in it, and had a lot of sense of self that is delightful self, a self that is happy, joyous, loving, and at the same time come with it the shadow of the self. This self is what we call the point of light, the real self, and come with it the ego, the foolish ego. So you could see the shadow in Italy between very sweet, loving people with gold, sweet gold, and point of light. And at the same time, you see their shadow. Oi, 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 their ego is miserable. They don't want to do anything.
And drama queen?
Drama queen, all of that. Drama kings there too. So what else? France, for example, culture is seven-ish, has so much about Diamond Dome, about they're really so much intellectual and bring concepts and views and all of those things. And it's really delightful that way. Very nice. It came with so much but pioneers in philosophy and psychology and all of that. So that is the quality of a Diamond Dome, the ability of the mind being open and seeing the picture in a spacious way, while the shadow of it is the narrow-mindedness and superiority and limitation, and you name it, you could see it, how they are like, I don't know, obnoxious or something like that.
Condescending.
Condescending, they're superior, you name it. And when you look at that, sometimes I was able to look, I couldn't see all the nations, but I began to see as if the whole earth was covered with a chandelier made of jewels. And when let's say one white jewel and one white diamond is in America, one red diamond maybe in, I don't know, another country, maybe in Africa, instinctual and perseverant, and another diamond green in Egypt or India, as if the nations took one quality of essence, felt it, preserved it, developed a culture, music, way of life, way of thinking, way of relating to this. And if you walk that walk, then you are American. And if you walk that walk, then you are Kuwaiti, So it's beautiful, but then it becomes, of course, confining, limiting, due to the limitation that the ego comes with. So to think of the earth as a chandelier with many facets, and that these people worked, nations, for thousands of years to cultivate those qualities and upgrade it, and then the shadow gets bigger with it, because that's how it goes. And then the high beings come and upgrade it. The Sufis try to upgrade the culture of Islam in the Middle East. The Buddhists in China and Asia, Christianity in the West. So the spirituality try to, I don't know, upgrade it, take the crud out of the wine, so that it becomes more refined. So we need to think about this way, about how humanity really working hard to the best they can, and they are trying to preserve something precious, to honor it, not to destroy it, and to collaborate, so we can see the symphony of colors and light and music and cultures, and enriching each other, because each nation, no matter how good it is, no matter how perfect, it's only one quality of essence. To have all of them, it's like to have the flute and the guitar and the piano and the drums, then you have music and orchestra. I pray for the one to come, and to come soon, and orchestrate us, bring the richness and the appreciation for those people, and instead blast them because they are against us, and we made each other enemies, instead of brothers and sisters, and appreciate and help each other, the planet. So I pray for this awakening to happen in a global way,
That's so beautiful, and I am in the mutual prayer with you.
Yeah, thanks.
I wonder, Faisal, when you talk about essence, especially in your languaging, like the chandelier and citadel and you know, a diamond brilliance. How would you say, if at all, how would you say religion, different religious paths have contributed to these cultural differences?
Yes. Yes.
With essence, I mean, like, because I don't know if that's, it's a little bit Sufi, right? Some essence as a concept.
No, no, it's universal. The word we use, it may be used by some Sufi, but its essence is, for example, Tibet, for example, the path, the lineage of Tibetan, the path is called Vajrayana.
Yes.
Vajrayana means the diamond vehicle.
Oh,
So
okay.
they know about the diamond, you know,
Mhm.
and they know about, for example, the Buddha family, you know. So there is gold, and there is black, and there is a
Oh,
green,
of
you
course.
know.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and then they have like 21 taras. She, the goddess of them, she comes in the 21 colors, you know.
Okay.
Green Tara, white Tara, gold Tara, black Tara. Her point of light shape shifts. Her soul shape shifts, you know. So essence is known, you know, that the Taoist is, of course, we took the word, at least from what I know, from the Taoists, more than the Sufis.
Oh.
Yeah, the Taoists talk about essence and the generating of essence, you know, and they believe that essence can be cultivated either from what the energy that we have and upgrade it, you know, that we have a certain amount of chi energy. And if we work well with it, we can increase it and we can condense it and we can turn it into pearls or diamonds. They know about pearls. I learned about pearls from them. I learned about diamonds from them. You know, I call the guidance with the diamond approach, diamond body, diamond logos work, the diamond body, because I took it from the Taoist.
Oh.
And the Taoists used to say that the human being is given a bundle of energy. And this bundle of energy, if it is used the way people use it, it is like you have some money and you waste it. You spend it and you waste it.
Mm.
But if you know how to invest it, then it can expand. So if you know how to have this bundle of energy, chi, and cultivate it more and use exercises to condense it, by time you can create a diamond entity, a diamond self. And if you don't cultivate a diamond self, the ordinary human being, when they die, their energy dissipate in the absolute, dissipate in being. There is no soul, there is no continuity, and they're gone.
Oh.
But if you cultivate the diamond entity, then when you die, your entity remains. And you can reincarnate and you become an immortal one. So
Oh.
they have the idea of the immortal one. They don't believe people have souls. You know, they have energy, but they don't have spirit, this entity. So I thought fascinating, because it's the same as the shamans. The shamans believe humanity. Not all humanity has points of light or has soul or has spirit. They believe they are a bundle of energy, and when they die, it dissipates, as Don Juan said, in the eagle, which is the absolute, taking the energy back. You know, it dissipates in space and in the void. So one has to work very hard. That's why there is practice. That's why there is focus. That's why there is discipline, because you really can create something. If you don't have it, you can create it. If you have it, you can upgrade it. If you have a soul, and the soul can enrich it more and cultivate more skills, more capacities, more knowledges, more enlightenment, more evolution, more capacity to benefit humanity and the planet and the cosmos. So there is evolution, and essence is known. You know, Sufis have, I learned the first thing about our what we call essence, about something called the Lataif, the subtle energy system. That was the first time I learned it. I learned it from a Sufi. And maybe in the other one, I'll talk about, maybe I did, how I learned it and how they presented it, you know, to me, and how we took that knowledge, you know, I shared it with an old friend, and how this knowledge that led to discovery of not only the existence of those qualities, but the effect of them, then the psychological issue related to them.
Mhm.
Then we were able to relate it to New Age psychology.
Which is sort of an upgrade from the Sufis, right?
Yeah, and that will be like the subject for our next one, is that it is an upgrade to meet the time that we are in.
Uh-huh.
It didn't change the truth about the qualities, nor the location about the qualities, nor the effect about the qualities, nor the realms they open up, but how to approach it, what's in the way, what are the armoring and the blockages that surrounds it, and how to liberate it. This is the New Age knowledge. They have different approach to it. They dance, they whirl, they chant, they sing, they receive a transmission, they have certain exercises to do, and we added to it the New Age psychology, which has more precision, but it is much more applicable to Western man than to Eastern man.
Yeah.
Because Eastern man psychology is different from Western man psychology. But now we are at an age where East and West are meeting, and we are almost like the same kind of psychology. But in the old time, it was different. It was really different.
Okay. All right. Well, I look forward to the next.
Yeah, the richness of nations and how to think about that way, and to love each other that way, and to have compassion. Like what happened to us? How come we lost this perspective? As the karma has become so hard, it's hitting us so strongly, the negative karma humanity generated, the negative wrong actions coming back, that we need now leadership to help us awaken that this karma doesn't become destructive. It becomes a source of learning, a source of healing, a source of transformation. Karma is lessons not learned, wrong things that we did that we didn't understand. If we really understand, we don't do it. If we really feel, if we really know, if we really become, we don't go kill, we don't go destroy, we preserve life and preciousness. So I pray we pass through this passage with more grace, with more guidance.
Yeah, be so.
Yes, really.
Thank you, Faisal.